Hello everybody, welcome back to the Healthy Families, Healthy Futures Kitchen. I'm Chef John, and today I've got a couple of great recipes I want to do with you today. The first one is a vegetable flatbread. I'm going to use crescent dough and then fresh vegetables in a cream cheese kind of sauce. And our second one is a broccoli, quinoa, and cheddar tot that you can make. You can stir this up really quickly, get them in the oven, bake them off. Again, both of these are really good recipes for young children or in families. They make a great side dish with some baked chicken or fish, and then the flatbread is really also a very good meal or snack. Okay, so let's get started. Over here, I've got 2 cans of crescent dough that I'm going to pull out. And I'm going to unroll this on my sheet pan into a rectangle. And we're just going to press those edges together so that everything works together. We're going to bake this off at 350 for about 15 minutes until we get a nice even brown. And it don't have to be perfect. You're going to cut this into squares once you get it baked. And if you have pizza dough that you want to use, that's fine. If you have the refrigerated pizza dough that you can get in the bags at your store, or if you make your own, which is kudos to you if you do that, that's fine, not a problem. This is just a really quick and easy way to get lunch on the table. So I'm gonna tear that right there, and we'll make the rest of this later. So you want to just try to get that all patted down, kind of flat. I'm not going to roll it out. You could roll it out if you wanted to. Really not a problem there. You just want to try to get those seams to go away. Crescent dough is actually a pretty good dough to use for things like this because it is tendency to be flat and it is a little flaky. And we're going to go pop this in the oven, in a 350 oven, for about 15 minutes or so, until it's good and brown. While our flatbread is baking, we're going to go ahead and make our filling for the flatbread. And what I'm using here is 2 bricks of cream cheese that I've let set out on the counter until they got nice and soft and I can work with it. And to that I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of sour cream. And you're more than welcome to use light sour cream. I just used what I had in the refrigerator. I'm going to stir that up and get it kind of good and well and mixed. Then I'm going to add my herbs. I've got a little bit of oregano. I've got a little bit of basil and thyme that I mixed together. And a little garlic powder. And a little onion powder. So this is going to be a savory flatbread. We're going to mix all this together. And we're going to spread this on the dough once it comes out of the oven. And you could mix this up a day in advance if you wanted to. Just try to get it, at room temp so that you're able to spread it. You want to get that nice mixed up. A spatula probably would do a little better job. I got a spatula. Since we're not cooking this, this is going to be the key seasoning for our flatbread. Okay. Wanted to add a little salt to this, that's fine. Herbs of your choice. You want to make it a little more spicy, you could add some chili powder or something like that. So basically, that's kind of all we're going to do. And then we're going to assemble. We're going to put this on the dough once it comes out of the oven. It'll be a little easier to spread. And we're going to just top it with our veggies. I have some chopped up cauliflower here that I chopped up, some tomatoes, and some carrots, and broccoli. And I could put this all in a bowl and mix it, but I'm just going to lay it out like a pizza so that you can see what we're going to do. And add a little salt to that. Salt I didn't get in there. All right, so I'm waiting on my flatbread to bake. It's going to take a few more minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll put everything together. Okay, while our flatbread is baking off, we're going to go ahead and put together our broccoli cheddar tots. This is a great little recipe, good way to get vegetables and protein into the little ones or into the family. I'm going to start this off with about 2 cups of cooked quinoa, and with that I'm going to add that to about a cup of broccoli. I wanted you to notice that I chopped this up really, really fine, and you could do this in a food processor, or if you've got a good sharp knife, you're going to do that. We're going to put these in a little mini muffin tin, and you could certainly shape them into tots. I cooked my quinoa yesterday, so it's nice and dry and ready to go. If you cook your quinoa, you want to cook quinoa just like rice, 2 to 1. And if it comes out and it's a little gummy, just put it in the refrigerator and let it uncovered, and it'll dry out eventually. I'm also going to add about 1.5 cups of grated cheese. I'm going to add about 2 cloves of garlic. Again, season these things to suit your taste. A little ground mustard. I like ground mustard, gives a little bite. And a little salt and a little pepper. It's about a teaspoon of salt and about 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Okay? Pretty simple. I'm going to add 2 eggs. And at this point, we're pretty much done with the recipe, except for mixing everything up. Probably should beat that egg up before you put it in there, but that's okay. We can do that really fast in here. Quinoa is a great source of protein. It's totally gluten-free. It's one of the ancient grains, and it's going to take on the flavor profile of really whatever you're mixing with it. Not a lot of taste all by itself, pretty much like rice. You can use it as a rice substitute if you want. You can mix it with other things. If you've watched any of our other videos, we've done an apple oatmeal and protein cookie, which is really nice. We want to get this nice and mixed up so that it'll stick together. The finer you've chopped your broccoli, the better it will. And as the quinoa gets wet, it will start to kind of stick to whatever it's cooking with. So I'm going to mix this, just keep mixing this till it starts to pull together. And you want to see if it'll start to stick. And it will. If it's not coming together for you, you could add another egg if you want. I think these are going to be fine. I'm just going to let them kind of keep mixing a little bit. You can tell when they're starting to stick. All right, for this one I'm using the mini muffin tin, and mine is not very deep, if you can see that. This works really good for this recipe because they come out really pretty much like a tater tot. Kind of little bite-sized pieces. Again, portion control is important, so we're going to spoon these right into the pan and press them down nice and tight. We're going to pop these in the oven, and I've already got my oven set at 350 degrees, so we'll pop them in for about 15-20 minutes. You could sprinkle a little Parmesan cheese on top if you want it. That would be nice. The cheese will melt and the egg will get solid as it heats up, and you'll have a nice little bite. Again, portion control, so you're able to, hand these out. Also, if you have small children that like to eat with their fingers, this is good. You can make a little dipping sauce or some ketchup, barbecue sauce, ranch. Anything like that will dip these really well. Young children like to eat with their fingers, so we let them. As long as they're eating healthy, that's all that really matters. They have plenty of time to learn how to eat with a knife and a fork. This is really good for picky eaters as well, because they don't want to eat broccoli and they don't want to eat this and that. Well, these are good things to eat that are healthy. Like I said, if you have leftover pieces of broccoli, and these are raw, if you have leftover stems, you can put those in your food processor or even a blender and chop those up real fine, and it makes really good. This is a good thing to use that for. I really want to get these down in there tight so that they're mashed together. A deeper pan is fine if you have one. I like these because it's not very deep. I have another one that is a little deeper than this pan. So this works well for this particular application. In fact, I think this is the only thing I really use this for. If you make mini muffins, it's a little bit too shallow. And it's okay if you don't get them exactly in the pan. I sometimes have a hard time getting them all just down in the pan. All right. As you notice, I had a little bit left over. If I had another pan, that's okay. I'd fill that up too. But this is plenty for what we're going to do. I'm going to pop these in the oven about 15 minutes. And then we will, as we do that, then we'll finish up our flatbread. And we'll plate up. Off we go. Okay, so we have our tots baking, so we're going to go ahead and do our flatbread. I've taken that out of the oven already. Got my filling mixture and my herbs. All right, so I'm going to stir this up. I kept this out of the refrigerator just so that you can, it's easier to work with once you get it all mixed together. Another thing you can do, if you want to just pulverize your veg, I like to kind of leave it whole like this, but if you wanted to just put everything in a blender and just chop it really super fine and then mix it into your cream cheese sour cream mixture, you can certainly do that. I'm not doing that today because I want to kind of lay it out pizza style. So I'm going to go ahead and start mixing this across my flatbread. You can go right out to the edge if you want. Again, another easy summertime kind of thing. Doesn't take a lot of time to do. Not terribly expensive in your ingredients at all. You can use whatever herbs. You want to use fresh herbs, that's fine. Whatever herbs you have that you like, you can certainly use. You can give this more of a Latin experience with coriander and cilantro, chili. If you want to make it more Italian, you use the Italian herbs as well, like we did here. This makes a great after-school snack for the kids, very healthy. You could mix in a little crushed avocado into your cream cheese and sour cream mixture. You just want to try to get that spread all the way across on an even layer. You could cut this into sandwiches, make it into little sandwiches. Now I'm going to start adding my vegetables, some carrots. You could set this up and let the kids make it how they want to make it, kind of have a bar, a flatbread bar if you wanted to, so they could pick the vegetables that they wanted to put into it. And I left the broccoli kind of whole and chop it too fine like we did in the other recipe. I think it's really colorful and very, very healthy. Very good way to get veggies into our little ones. Let's throw just a handful of cauliflower on it. If you wanted to blanch your vegetables to soften them up a little bit, some kids, you know, they like your vegetables a little softer. That's fine. Just blanch them, drain them out really good so that you can handle them, and that'll be fine. So you notice that looks a lot like cheese, although we're not using cheese. And then we'll put some tomatoes around. Make it really pretty, colorful. Kids eat with their eyes, as we all do. And you could certainly use the fresh vegetables here. Yellow squash would be good. Cut just raw yellow squash. Cucumbers. If you like kind of the Greek flavors, you could use a lot of oregano on this, and then cucumbers and dill and black olives. Lots of different combinations to do. And you can just pop this thing full of vegetables. It's really pretty. And you could make a design. I mean, if you wanted to make a face on it, something like that, if you have an art project you wanted to do, that would be it. So this is our vegetable flatbread. Super easy, super good, super healthy. And that's we'll plate this up in the next section when our broccoli tots come out of the oven and cool. So we'll have a plate up after that. And we'll be back in just a second. All right, so we've gotten our pizza flatbread out of the oven. We've let it cool. We've assembled it. And I just cut it into snack-sized pieces. Really nice, good bites there. If you wanted to roll it out a little thinner, that would be fine. I think it's good just like it is. You could cut it into smaller squares for a little bite. Then we'll take out our broccoli tots. These came out just right, just perfect the way they are. And these are just good. A couple of these on a plate with some fruit, or one of our strips of flatbread would make a great snack or a meal. Just make sure you spray your pan really good to get them out. So there we have it. 2 little recipes for us today. Veggie pizza flatbread done with a dipping sauce of sour cream and cream cheese, herbed up, looks really nice. And then our quinoa, cheddar cheese, and broccoli tot, if you will. A little ketchup on the side goes a long way to making those really tasty as well. That's going to be it for this lessons. We enjoyed having you, and I hope to see you again sometime soon. Thanks.